Okay, so since I'm replacing the ball joints, I took the lower control arm off, and I may as well replace the bushings. These are the new bushings I've got. Not sure how good of a quality they're going to be, but we'll give them a shot. Very simple to take your lower control arm off. There's only two bolts that hold it on either end and side. Here, I'll go and show you here what I'm talking about. Right here. It mounts up here and here, right? Two bolts. I've got them right here. And once you get your lower control arm off, get it on a bench, and then just pry it with a screwdriver right here. Very simple. And your shaft might come out with it. There's a shaft inside there, right? Of course. So let's see if I can get this here with one hand. There you go. Here we go. That's one side of it, and that's one of the bushings right here, right, as you can tell. On the other side, the bushing stayed, right? I'll do the same thing. I'll put a screwdriver in between the bushing and the metal here and just pry it out, and then just put these in. Pretty simple. Okay, so get the bushings, new bushings on. I'm just going to mount it up now where it's supposed to go, right there. So I'm going to put the camera down here and get back to you guys when it's all put together. Okay, I have the ball joints out of the freezer. Just to give you an example, here it is. It's frozen solid. It slides right in. There you go. That's as far as ins will go. And when it thaws out, it's not going to move from there. So the next step after this is to put this plate right here. Right there. And there's two little screws that go in here and here. You can put some Loctite on them. You don't want those to back up. Tighten them up and you're done. Pretty simple. Next after this be putting this arm back in its place. Okay, so I've run into a problem with the ball joints that were sent to me. So I put one in, and the torque specs for lower ball joints for 2003 Polaris Sportsman 500 HO is 25 foot-pounds, so it's not that much. So anyway, I put this ball joint here in, started torquing it down, didn't even reach 25, and the stud on the ball joint stripped. I don't know if you can see it there, the shiny spot right there, stripped. So now I had to get this thing off. So the way I was able to do it is put enough weight on here, just pushing down with a pry bar on the lower control arm to get the castle nut to bite on the remaining threads, and I was able to get it off. So I'm not going to mention the eBay seller's name for the ball joints because I've sent them an email saying I want my money back. I am not putting these ball joints on. Even if he gave me a free ball joint, I would not do it. I still have another one. I bought a pair from him. The other one is fine. I haven't even touched it. I'm not putting it on. Not a chance. Ball joints are pretty critical on any machine, and I just don't trust this product. I mean, come on. It's stripped with less than 25 foot-pounds. So I just sent him an email through eBay saying I wanted my refund. Yeah, I'm not too sure what he's going to do. I didn't pay much, and that's probably what it is. I got what I paid for. So I think for the pair I paid 25 Canadian. And I picked it up in the border. Living in British Columbia, where I live, I'm really close to the border. So it's always better to ship it out there because I can get free shipping within the United States. And I just go over and pick it up, and that's it. So if he does ask the part back, I'll have to cross the border and send it. It's definitely not worth for me to send it from Canada. It cost me more than what I paid for the part. So anyway, I'm without ball joints. So I ordered some online again, but this time I went through a Canadian company. Didn't go through eBay. So we'll see how that works out. If they work out well, then I will post it on here and let you know who they are. If this gentleman here with these ball joints refuses to refund me, I will definitely let you know who he is so you don't buy any of this stuff, because obviously it's not good. It's shoddy parts, not good at all. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm without ball joints right now. That's okay. I got quite a few more things to do on this thing, so continue working on it. Okay, as you can tell, got my valve cover on, got the gasket on. The gasket that goes on that one for this one anyway, I guess must be something new or whatever from Polaris. It's metal. It's not a cork gasket. The one that was on there before was cork, and the one that they sold me is metal. So I asked him, should I put some RTV gasket maker or whatever on both sides, and he said, yeah, let's do so, just to make sure. So that's what I did. And the same with the timing gear cover right here. That one is a cork or whatever, or paper gasket, but I did put some sealant with it also, as you can tell. So I used a RTV sealant. I'll show you what it's called here. It's from Permatex, and the one I use is Ultra Copper. It's for maximum temperature gasket maker. It's ideal for exhaust gaskets. Says right here that it's good for valve covers, oil pans, timing covers, water pumps, thermostat housings. So it's obviously to be used around stuff that has oil, not gasoline. It's not meant for that. So don't use it for anything that this can get in contact with gasoline. It won't seal properly. So that's where I'm at right now. I've also replaced the brakes on it. Here's the old brake shoes. They were okay, I guess, on one side, but they're starting to wear down. So I went out and ordered some new ones, and I installed them. That's a fairly easy process to do. Here's the disc, the rotor right here, and since I had this apart here, I didn't put the brake caliper back on. I'm not going to do that until I get the ball joint back on. But here's the caliper, and as you can tell, the new brakes are right there, 2 of them. So to put those on, fairly simple. The way I did it is in the back side of your caliper right here, you get this little thing, this little plunger thing you can take off. You remove that, and it allows you to push this part right here right in. That way you can slide these off the pins and then just drop right out. And then use your old brake pad and just put a kind of like a clamp, C-clamp, on the old brakes to push back your cylinder. Just be careful not to damage the back side of your caliper. As you can tell, somebody has already. They broke off the bleeder nut right there. So, but place the C-clamp like around here somewhere, and then slowly push in your cylinder, so that way you can fit your brakes on, and then it'll be easier to fit onto your rotors. And that's I replaced the lower control arm bushings, which are right here. That's fairly easy also. It's just held on by 2 bolts, one right here, and the other one's on the other side right here, but you can get it from here. You drop that down, and you can take those out and press new ones in. You don't actually need to press them, you just push them in. They go in not too bad. A little tight, but they'll go in. You might have to tap them with a hammer a little bit. What I used, I got a plastic block. I just put it on top, and I used a rubber mallet and tapped them in. Because they go in tight, which they should. Should go in tight. So as you notice, I've put the hub back on. And so I've kind of noticed that you can put ball joints on these things without taking the whole steering arm off, like the strut and the all this area here. You don't have to take it off, actually. If you can raise it up high enough, you can actually do it from underneath. I mean, you have to lay on your back and do it, but it's no big deal. I was able to take them off that way. Like I said, I hydraulic them out. It's just a plate that holds underneath there with 2 screws. Remove those, then squeeze grease in there, and they'll come right out. And the other ones, what you can do is throw them in the freezer for a couple of days, and they'll shrink just enough so that you can slide it in there, and you put your plate back in there with those 2 screws. Don't forget your Loctite. And then once it thaws out, it's not going to move from there, and you're done. I mean, it's pretty simple. That's how I did it with the ball joints that failed, but that's how I'm going to do it with the new ball joints when they come in. But at the moment, that's about it for the ATV. As you can tell, I got the clutches on also. There was a huge difference between the spring that's in there now and the one they had before. The one they had before was a really long spring. Had to bring the RPMs up really high before it engaged. I didn't like that. So I went out and got a new clutch spring, and as far as I'm concerned, works. It's going to work way better. So it's just a matter of trying it out, which I haven't been able to. I'm not going to be able to start for a bit here. So once I've got the front end all put back together, I'm going to clean out the radiator. Radiator is quite dirty, you can tell. And the rest of it's dirty. So I'm just going to give it a quick clean, spray it with engine cleaner, and give it a good soak, and rinse it out. And I still need to put rear brakes on. And on this one, you only have one brake pad in the back. And I believe it's on the right-hand side as you're sitting on the machine. Could be wrong here, but could be on the left. But pretty sure it's on the right-hand side. And then start putting the plastic back on and test it out, see what happens. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.